Sep, are we live? We're live. So,
Awesome.
as you all know, probably, I think everyone in this call knows that this call is being live streamed and recorded, so protect your privacy as necessary. There are agenda notes for this call, which I assume someone posted in the TEC general channel. Praise to whoever did that. And every call that we start with praise. So, at least for this call. So, yeah, I'll model for you guys. I want to dish praise to Juan Carlos for the amazing work that he's doing in Gravity. I'm really excited to go to all these classes that we're going to have a whole certification system around becoming. Anyway, I don't need to go into it, but I love the class schedule that Juan has put together, and it's super cool. I also want to give extra praise to Santi and Mateo for all the work on source cred, which I feel like is just happening behind the scenes and doesn't get nearly enough props. So, extra praise, and I'll mute and pass it to Juan Carlos.
Thank you, Griff. I would like to praise Jess because she always makes the blog posts, and she made like a graphic material for the TEC that we can all use. And I think that comms is a very important thing, and that needs a lot of work. And she's like taking care of that, and I want to praise her for that. And I also want to praise Livy because I think that the work she does in soft and leading the cultural build in the organization, and like always thinking and rethinking on what can we do better. I think that is an amazing energy that she delivers to us. And with that, I will pass it to Mateo.
Hey everyone, hope you all are having an amazing day and week. I'd like to praise Juanca this time for all the Gravity work that he's been doing. Every time I check that chat, there is an amazing amount of good quality content for reading and learning more about it. Also memes, and I love them. And also I want to praise Livy because I know that she's making an amazing job on soft gov and the book club that I couldn't join this week either. So I promise that next time I will. And I'll pass it to Santi.
Hello, thank you, Mateo. I want to give a special praise for the ladies in this group. There's not too many, but the work they all do is amazing. And I just can say thank you for all the work Livy is doing, Tamara is doing, Jessica is doing, and Ivy is doing. And I don't know if I'm missing anyone else there. I don't think so, but it's just 4 of them, and it's amazing the amount of work that you girls do. So that's my praise for this week, and I'm passing to Septimus.
Thank you, Santi. I also wanted to praise Tam and Ivy because Tam was pushing me like to do the. I mean, sometimes I'm a bit slow doing things, and she said, maybe that's interesting to do, and I jump, and that's extra motivation, and that's amazing. And Ivy is always like, hey Ivy, I think Tam said that, and we could work on that. And Ivy, of course, and she's always so energetic, and I love that. And I also want to praise Juan because what we see today on the Gravity course, it looks so exciting, and I want to participate. And I'll pass it to John.
Thanks. Was that me that you mentioned? Awesome. Good praises, everyone. I want to praise 2 different people for similar reasons. I want to praise Jess for, well, I'll just say both kind of because it's for the same thing. Jess and Durga Das, both for these sort of offline outreach and communications. Both of these people just randomly message me like when I'm totally not in the zone or not thinking about anything, they'll just reach out and say, hey, how's everything going? Like, can I help? Or, what are the updates and how's everything going? So yeah, praise to Jess and Durgadas for like just really rich offline conversations. And I think that's important when you just like randomly reach out to people and see how they're going and like get an update, because there's a lot, happening behind the scenes at different times. So that helps a lot. And I'll pass over to Sam.
Hey, hello everyone. This week I would like to praise the technical team because I really appreciate having such a good people around, and I know that this is not it's sometimes difficult to be all together in an online context, but I feel super accompanied, specifically with Fabi, with Vivi, and with Paulo, and I would like to praise them. I'm going to pass it to YGG.
Thanks, Sam, but I just passed it to you.
Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry, YGG.
That's okay.
I am going to pass it to Paulo.
Hello, Happy New Year to everyone. Today I would like to praise Fiorella, and I don't think if anybody else is working on that, but because they are working on the design for the hatch, the new updates. And I would like to praise Gabi too, which is not working directly on the project. He is a member of the Aragon 1 team, but these last couple of weeks he's been helping us with some problems regarding the hatch, and it's really nice to have someone with such a great knowledge on the subject. So yeah, I'll pass it to Tonga.
Yeah, thank you. I have to tell you that there is a lot of people that resigned in the Aragon 1 team today. I was reading the chat, so Gabi is one of them, so he's not anymore. But I would like to praise to everyone in this call. I don't have exactly any special praise, but I think everyone in this call deserves it. So yeah, I will pass it to Tamara.
Hey. So as always, I want to praise everyone, but I'm going to try to have a curated list today. First, I'd like to praise Jess because she always shows up with heart and kindnesses, and I think that's felt by all. I'd also like to praise, the book club is like one of the highlights of my week. So Livia, you really championed it. So thank you to you, Juan Carlos, Nate Suits, Tonga. Thanks for taking leads in some of those book club readings. And then somebody who's not on this call, but my other favorite night of the week is Panvala's UBI Circles Poker Weekly on Wednesday nights. So I'd like to praise Neuron for these sort of social activities. And I actually don't know who to pass it to, so I'll pass it back to you, Griff.
Great. Let's go to Craig.
Hello. I'd like to praise to Dan and Jess for starting a sync up on the CRM for TEC stuff. Appreciate that. Back to you, Griff.
Durgadas.
Hi. I'd like to praise Sean, who's had a big win yesterday. So, and to the whole tech community who keeps us connected and is really helping us, with all of your excellent connections and everything. So Griff and Jess, I think standout Liv, who seems to be everywhere also. And I'll pass it to back to Griff because I arrived a little late. And I don't know who would be doing it.
No, it's getting to that time. I'll pass it to Jess.
Hey everybody, Happy New Year for those of you I haven't seen yet. Happy to see you guys today. I would like to dish praise to Tamara for always just being the person I feel I can go to with anything, and she just supports everybody, like holds this space. And then also I really wanted to thank Dan and especially Craig for supporting comms, and Jake is not here for just always coming and being like, hey, how can I help you? And hey, just give me this thing and then don't ever worry about it again. It's so nice. And also Septimus, who just constantly, like, I feel like I can count on and ask for additional help even outside of TEC. He's taking on some CAD stuff to support the community there too. So thank you. And Juan, I'm really excited for the gravity training, and I want to shout that loud to other DAOs. So I want to work with you and asking for everybody's support to support us sharing that, because it's really cool. There are like no DAOs who have this, and this is like such an incredible opportunity that he's presenting to do this training. So I hope we can all support Juan. And I will pass back to Griff.
Olivia, have you gone?
No, I can go. I've been feeling very emotional and introspective this week, and it's making me think a lot about how it's really special how everyone that is in this call has been sticking around. Like, this is something that deserves a special praise and a special shout out of, like, everyone here has so many responsibilities with the TEC, and it's really beautiful to see this work being developed every time, every day, every week, showing up. It's like the first, active week of the year, and we are all here, and there's so much beauty coming. So yeah, I just have, I'm cheating today, but I have a special praise to everyone in this call, and especially to the community stewards that are like putting so much in. And I think I was the last one.
No, Dan definitely came in. Dan?
Hey. Sorry. I actually want to praise, like, I'm hearing some feedback, but I always, whenever I'm in a kind of session, I think about that I want to praise whoever invented the praise system, and I really want to understand how it came to be. Like, oh my God, because it is beautiful, and it is a very beautiful bridge between the objective and subjective of what people actually pull together. So that's like my general praise. But going into the specifics, like, had a great conversation between Jess and Craig, and making that bridge between, the trusted seat and TEC. So I'm very happy about that, and I want to praise that. And that's it. Back to you.
And Mateo, did you get to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then yeah, I think that is everyone. I will just say, Dan, that the praise system evolved out of a lot of work from Giveth, so it's very collaborative. It's hard to say exactly who made it what it is, but it's probably a 4-year process that got it to where it is. And let's go through our magical agenda. Again, the agenda was posted in TE General by someone who deserves a lot of praise. And to start this call, I want to remind people that if you have any social, political, or any kind of tension within the TEC that you're like, man, the TEC would be better if this, whether it's relationship or just even general feedback, please feel welcome to use Gravity's form, which is linked at the top of the agenda. Wonka is moderating this call, and he made this beautiful form for us to use. I'll be facilitating the call. And as usual, I want to invite everybody to join the Praise channel, although I think all of you are already in it. But if you're watching this as a recording, please join t.me/tepraise, and it makes it really easy for us to issue praise. Also, we have an Airtable, which is linked in this call, in the agenda. So if you haven't seen it, it's really cool. Great place to put in what's your favorite language and where are you at, so we can connect community members better. Also, we have, it's worth mentioning that this is the call where we just show off the work that has been done and revel in our success over the last couple weeks. It's not really the place to brainstorm ideas, so let's keep it tight. And yeah, and so then it's also worth mentioning that all the work that's happening is in our ZenHub board, the TE Commons workspace. It's been a revolution, the ZenHub revolution, and there's a great link in the agenda. Oh, which I should just be sharing my screen, I guess. There's a great link that shows off all the stuff that we're doing on the short term. It's all on the ZenHub. In fact, we had a great sprint this week that I think Tamara will talk about. And but on the macro level, there's a link also to the roadmap, and there's a screenshot of like the big picture stuff and our goal to launch in mid-March or earlier, hopefully. We'll see. And yeah, then let's just dive into different working groups. So Santi, you're leading the legal working group. Would you like to start?
Okay, thank you, Griff. We ended the year with, you guys hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry, I need to mute.
We ended the year with the forum post that we just wrote and discussed together, and we added there on the forum for you guys to go over and vote. Actually, I don't know when that voting is going to end, but you have the link right there on the agenda, and it would be great to for everyone to just go there, read, post any questions or concerns or whatever you guys think you want to answer, and give your vote. That was most of the work that we've been doing for the past weeks. And we last meeting we started discussing the terms that everyone will have to sign when they will buy into the bonding curve. So that document describes how to join the hatch, and that there is. Thank you, Griff. And once you are a hatcher and you are able to, go and join the TEC, we will have to you will have to check another terms and conditions document that we are working on from using as a baseline the A&G terms. And besides that, we will have to also, together coordinating with Gravity and SoftGov, we will have to go over all the terms that everyone will interact, like the proposal terms or signing, voting on Dandelion, voting whenever we have to vote on those parameters, or any interaction that we will have to deal with into the TEC. So that's what we will be based on during these following weeks. You have the ZenHub link over there. You can go over any of the issues that we have opened, and you're more than welcome to join us. Tomorrow we are starting the first meeting of the year at 4 p.m. Central European time. So thank you, Griff. Pass to you.
Great, and I'll just slingshot it over to Juan. You want to introduce Gravity, One?
Yes. Our goal for Gravity is to have a training, a small course, 8-session course that will be open to several decentralized communities with the objective of training people around nonviolent communication, alternative dispute mechanisms, on on the gravity process itself. And yes, the idea is to start the Thursday 21st of January, and the schedule that we have set for that training is Thursdays 9 p.m. CET. That is after the community call. So the idea is that everyone that is in the community call can jump after to the training. And yeah, this is something that is aimed to promote soft skills for everyone, to strengthen our cultural build, and to replicate the values and that we want to have in the organization, and that we want that every interaction between members is mediated by respect, and also that if disputes arise, we can also have clear ways and clear steps to like manage that situation. So yeah, we are starting with nonviolent communication, and Durgadas is leading that session. And then we are going to study theories of conflict, and then we are also going to study alternative dispute resolution, and what is a BATNA, a best alternative for a negotiated agreement. So these are very practical abilities that we can like apply in our everyday life, and the idea is that this can help our organizations to be like more resilient, and to keep also high vibes in the organization, and not only in this organization but in different communities, because as you say, so maybe something that sometimes is passed over, and is the importance of communication, and the importance of having also clear techniques to like look for solutions when there is no like consent or on a topic. So that's it. We are having an open call for everyone interested in joining into this training, and you can see the plan of study. If you want to make some comments on it, you're seeing it in the screen, and it is in the agenda of this call. So yes, the idea is to start before the end of this month with this training, and we hope that this is something that can have a good impact in the whole ecosystem. By the way, we are also going to give POAPs for each session. So that's the main goals for Gravity in these first months of the year.
Great. Well, I don't see Eduardo here, but I guess I can, unless Craig, you'd like to, I can present the onboarding working group.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Drew. I'll chime in if I have anything to add.
Perfect. So in the last couple of weeks, we started onboarding hatchers, which is really great. So, and we have a working document on the script, you could say, of what we tell all the hatchers, and we're recording answers. We're recording frequently asked questions, and really perfecting the art of the story, which we're explaining to people who want to join. Also have a lot of proposals that have made it to the forum. Special shout out to Jess and Tamara, and I'm sure that a few other people who have made sure that there are these awesome proposals. So thank you guys, and that's been very successful so far. We have a weekly sync at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Barcelona time. So feel free to join us. And yeah, and we can populate this with a few more links, I think, as the call evolves. But there's a lot of cool links that have evolved, and we're starting to make some progress. One update, I guess, that's worth mentioning is we have over $33,000 of soft commits already to the TEC. So that's very nice. Yeah, and I will pass that I'll pass it along to soft governance.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, this week in SoftGov, we're focusing mostly on the code of conduct document that Santi already mentioned. So I guess I can share my screen. So we separated all of this that are highlighted in yellow are sections that we need to create a code of conduct for. And we have many people that are working on them, and this is awesome. So this document is being populated little by little by everyone involved, and we are separating into what actions can be taken, what actions or outcomes are required, and what actions or outcome are forbidden. So that way we'll know more or less what is allowed to do in the TEC by taking off what is not allowed and what is required. Guidance on communicated together with Santi and Juan Carlos with legal and gravity.
Hey, Livia,
to make sure that people understand.
Livia, could you repeat what you said? You broke up for about the last 45 seconds, I would say.
Oh no. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just this will guide us into how we interact in the community, especially when new members join and new people that have not been
Dang, Livia. Maybe stop the stream because we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, now we hear you great. We hear you so fantastic. I'll share my screen and try to follow.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's basically to say how. Griff, can you mute, please?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you. How these agreements will be great for people that are joining the community post-hatch, because they will know what are the cultural agreements we made, what is legally expected of them, what do we want towards a resilient community thinking and the gravity perspective. So we're doing all this work to have the rules and boundaries of our system. And that's the main focus of SoftGov this week. And also, we are moving forward with the book club. We have 4 more sessions. So if you haven't came yet and you would like to, I think it's pretty useful to even just listen in if you're curious. And we can have great discussions. Sometimes the book club brings up other topics that are not only involved with the book, but with the DAO and with the Commons ecosystem. Other than that, there's also, Griff, could you open the votings and proposals? It's under call to action. So I just started to separate in the forum the proposal section into 4 different categories. So you can see there: advice process, pre-proposal phase, forum voting, conviction voting, dandelion voting. So the idea is that all the proposals, they come to the advice process first, and there they are in a phase of feedback. They are being built up, and I'll add a more detailed description there. So your proposal is there. Everyone can comment on it. You can integrate the feedback. It's also useful to tag people you would like to receive feedback from. And then after, when the proposal is done, in your opinion, and you want to submit for voting, then you change the category and you post either in conviction voting or in forum voting or in dandelion voting. And then under each one of the sections, I'll explain why would you submit to each one of those, and more details about the advice process. So if anyone has any proposals they would like to submit and you're confused about this right now, please reach out to me. Let's do this together. And yeah, that's it for me. Thanks, Griff. Sorry about the tech.
That's okay. And I guess now we pass to Tamara, who's taking on community stewards.
So I think I'm sharing my screen now. Griff, you could probably unshare yours if you want to, or stop your share if you want. So, hey everyone. This week we kicked off with all of the community stewards, the first TEC community, the TEC sprint for work planning. I'm going to show it to you now. There's a link to the ZenHub board. I think everyone here is already pretty familiar with this board because we've showed the Common Stack TEC one, which was merged before. But now we have separated Common Stack and TEC entirely. So the link for the TEC coordination workspace is in this document if you want to go there. And it is where we can see what we're working on from sprint to sprint. The first sprint is going to run from January 6th to the 20th. And it's our first one. So I will say the first sprint for a new team is always a little bit choppy. And considering that, I think we did a great job. And we can continue to improve it. Really by sprint, it takes 2, 3, maybe 4 sprints for a team to really get their groove. So I really look forward to sprint 3 as well, sprint 2 and sprint 3. And if you want to see what's being done sprint to sprint, you can see the label of, let's take conflict management, for example. And you'll see everything that's in the sprint backlog. And as the work is being completed, it'll be moved to in progress. If it's blocked and needs some help, it'll be moved to block and review if it requires a review, and then closed when it's finally done. And the other thing I'd like to say about the board is I don't think we have many right now, but we will be building the 4 contributors. And as we start building these will be good first issues for people to take on, which would be great too. And I thought maybe if I could take 2 more minutes and just show how we're at Common Stack implementing the token-weighted backlog, which was a proposal from a one-man development team named Wesley, and he presented it at our previous community call. And just show you what it was like for us at Common Stack, and potentially it would be very interesting for us to do the same thing at TEC, where we have issues and we can eventually use our tokens to weigh on those issues. And this is what the one for Common Stack looks like. I've voted already quite a bit, so I have no more tokens to vote with. And I think that's it for me. So I will pass it to Jessica for communications.
Howdy, everybody. I don't have too much to show this week because it's more of a heads down week. And oh, I missed some people for praise. I wanted to praise Livia. She also has been, she's just amazing. And Sam, speaking of comms, this actually fits in. Sam and I actually had a great call and discussed a bit like the high level narratives whenever we want to get philosophical. So what I realized from reflecting with Sam this week is the big focus for comms is why are we here? And putting that into a story and being the working group who holds down with all of your help, the reason why we're here. Because it's easy to get caught up in the GitHub and the tasks and the this, but why we're really here is because we all want to help to build not only, we have such a beautiful community and that everybody always says that they feel warm and we have this very like human thing going on, and everybody that comes here and touches it and sees it is like, oh, I've never seen this before in any DAO and any virtual community. So we have that, but our mission and why we're here and helping to support having these tools so that any and self-fund and self-govern and locally solve some of the hugest problems that the world is facing. So I think just trying to like get all of that into the narrative, into the story, so that it reflects off of what we're doing. So I guess that's my mission, and it's a bit of a process. And if anyone has any feedback on, what they think, and even I was kind of thinking about, we're also going to be working on the onboarding video coming up. So I was thinking about maybe interviewing everybody or getting like everybody to record like, something about like, what is the TEC and why are we here? Just to get some of those different reflections down, because I think this will help to kind of integrate all of this and kind of like the high level story of what are we doing here. So that is my focus and the focus of the communications working group in the next couple of weeks. And I gotta get back to my list here. So yeah, in case you don't know, we meet every Tuesday at now 12 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. CET. So I'm going to quickly list out a couple of the other things we're working on and then pass it on. So thanks again to everyone who donated to Gitcoin. I think Griff's going to have the final tallies here in the next couple of weeks for the Pinvala matching. Working on the news blog right now, and we are still open. I'm just going to keep reminding everybody, if anybody wants to write, if anybody wants to express, I mean, obviously we have the forum, but we're also accepting guest blog posts. So if you know anybody who's kind of a thought leader in the space and, has some really cool message to share, ideally it relates to TE, but that would be great if we can start to have some more voices and writers. If you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me. We're also going to be launching the new Discord timeline TBA. We should maybe know by the next sprint, have a little more time related to that. Then we'll have some cool articles coming out. Depending on the legal vote, we'll have a bit of an update after that. And then working with SoftGov and Libya on, looking at our governance. So writing a piece on our governance and how that works, and then also looking at experimenting with some communications to increase voter engagement. So how can we do a better job? We know DAOs have like 3% engagement for votes, something really low. So how can we look at the government systems and voting and communicate about that in a more engaging way, so that people have the context that they need? And we got some great feedback in the comms meeting this week about that. We have a design session next week with Jake and Marco and Zep. We're gonna look at the branding. It's been Marco's creative process. He has some cool stuff going on with like NFT art. He's just trying to come to a final place so that we can push forward to have all of the final templates for everything and hopefully finish the website. And then, just supporting the promotion, as I mentioned, of the Gravity training. So I'm working with Juan, and I'm gonna make like cool graphics. So I would love when that's finished, we're gonna post it in the main channel. So if everybody could just help with communications, I would ask for your support to like push out some of these things that we have going on to other DAOs and other communities that you're in, because I do think there's so much value that we can share with these other communities with the Gravity training and with TEC labs. TEC Labs is happening tomorrow with YGG. So yeah, just helping to like promote all this value, because people like, you know, Juan and Sean are donating their time and they have so much value to give. So let's help them to get some more people to participate, because I think otherwise, you know, it's kind of sad. Like we have such cool, you know, kind of mini academy. We have some cool lessons. So yeah, that's it for me, and everybody have a great week. And I'm gonna pass it on to Paramms and TEC.
Yeah, Jake, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'm ready. Forgive me, everybody. I've kind of struggled with connection today, so if you lose me, just like wave or something, like we can't hear you, idiot. Anyways, okay. The only really thing I want to get into right away is what I'm working at and on my plate is in the notes right here. I threw it up as new tech spec plan. What we're doing is part of a bigger picture in making things automated. So we have to pick our initial parameters for the hatch, and we're going to go about setting that up to have 4 or 5 group choices, meaning, you know, you'll have various specific numbers in those. And then people will be able to come in and vote on the whole little group on what they think they want to try for the hatch. That's actually also involving YGG, so it'll be a great lead into him for his proposal with his CAD models, because we're going to try and incorporate a little bit of everything we're doing, along with even Wesley's token log, hopefully. So we can get actually some proposals we have on board to actually use them and show them in action. Working on that, there's going to be more forum posts. So I'm going to appreciate engagement along with that as we, you know, get that new tech spec plan out and into the open. We're going to need a lot of actual feedback on that, because there's going to be a whole nother different kind of voting process along with it. And it's going to be really important that everybody understands how that works, because moving forward, if this is a bigger success, we're really going to make something really worthwhile and really easy for everyone to use. That being said, let's hope it's that easy to get together. After that, everything should go really well. And then we'll be moving towards the second part of the hatch. And then again, I'll be having more weekly sessions about the various params, which is going to get very detailed and complicated, because we'll be moving into the bonding curve. So we're still a few weeks out from that, of course, but I want people to kind of have a heads up, because everything we've done so far is really easy. When we get into the bonding curve, it's going to be a lot more complicated. So it's going to be important that we have those posts, we have these meetings, everybody understands, everybody asks a lot of questions, and we have a really clear line of communication there, because the bonding curve is a lot. But again, that's a few weeks out for sure, so that's no big rush there. Working on the tech spec. We're moving right along with that, though, and I'm really happy about that. Otherwise, really, for the most part, that's all that really matters for me. I can hand this over to Garden Swarm now and Sim, and then really excited about YGG and his labs. So take it away, Sim.
Yeah, just before, sorry to interrupt, Sim. Just on the note, I want that the proposal of how we decide the parameters for the new hash DAO needs to be validated as far as using the token log. So this is not like we're doing this, but there will be once we validate this process, there will be a vote on the forum to confirm that everyone likes this idea. But basically, it would be that with YGG's help, we'll have a full spec. What Jake and I will help support the Gardens team in writing the full spec of the DAO, and then YGG will have a lot of models that will show what the full spec actually has for outputs, and then everyone will be able to fork that, make their own GitHub issue, or not issue, but like file basically, and there'll be multiple files that show the different outcomes and what each parameter choice is. So it'll be really easy to propose new parameters, and then we'll use Wesley's token log to actually vote on which ones, in a quadratic way, on which ones are the best and which one is the best. So, but we'll see. This is just a work in progress. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Sam. Take it away.
Okay. I'm sorry because at the beginning of the call I was a little bit distracted. You will understand now why. I'm going to share the screen. We have had a success in the hatch. We set up a minimum of 5 dice, and there has been a lot of people who has donated. Well, I mean, it was we have had enough participation, and we reached for this test 16 dice, 16 and 71. So the hatch is completed, and now it's the time that we reward the people with impact hours with new tokens. But that has failed because an error in the code. Oh, we had this hard-coded variable here, that constant here. And the thing is that it was not a 3, it was a 4. So we cannot finish the impact hours allocation, and we cannot continue with the hatch. And this kind of errors should not happen ever, but it was a demo, and it is fixable. Because we have an Aragon DAO, we can upgrade the applications using the Dandelion voting. So what we are going to do during the next week is to use that powerful tool in order to update the impact hours. So hopefully next week we can finish the hatch process. Everybody receives their impact hours tokens, their TEC tokens based on their impact hours. And the only change that we are going to apply is to put here a 4 instead of a 3. And yeah, I will post the voting, the vote on the forum. So everybody, if you can vote, we can finish that process next week. And yeah, I don't know if we had something else to explain. I am going to pass it to you, Griff. Maybe you had something else to say.
No, I mean, I would just second this idea of I think it's important to know that the DAO is autonomous, and its choice to upgrade the commons to a bonding curve and conviction voting is optional. Once the DAO exists, it is the one that makes the decisions. So I'm excited to see this as an opportunity to show this autonomy. That, okay, well, there was a bug, and so now the Dandelion voting app will be used, and the DAO itself will actually upgrade an app before upgrading to the commons. And this is it's just an example of the sacrifice we make in launching 2 parts, this unpredictability, but also the proof of concept of, well, the DAO gets to decide these things. In fact, the DAO at this stage could actually decide not to give impact hours out. We're not going to upgrade, and guess what? If you've got impact hours, too bad. It's very interesting. So I just think it's kind of cool. And you can also see that we have this DAO live. So there's a link there to the Dandelion voting, and I'm excited to see your post, Sam. And
yeah,
congrats.
It sometimes takes a little bit to load, but you see the tokens of everyone here. Actually, as it is programmed, people is going to receive impact hours directly. I mean, there is a script that once the hatch is closed, actually before we can close officially the hatch, people receive impact hours. But we are stuck in the middle, and we still can vote. So, but the idea is that we can mint tokens for impact hours before any vote can pass. So we at least our impact hours people is covered in that sense. But we are also covered that if there is some error like this one, we at least the last word is the Dandelion voting that has superpowers and can do whatever. Okay.
God mode. Did anyone have any other questions for Sam? Okay, cool. Well, then I would say let's give YGG the floor, and he can tell us about this awesome proposal for ULab.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And I just want to say my mind is absolutely blown by what everyone is doing. It seems like everyone's leveled up over the new year, and all the working groups are absolutely on fire. It's really cool to see all the updates. So can everyone see my screen here? Yes? Okay.
Yep.
Yes. So yeah, I put in a proposal for the tech lab, and I want to give a shout out to Jake. Did a call with him, and he was all pumped up like usual, and he got me all excited to do this. So I wouldn't have done it without you, Jake. So thanks a lot. And there's just an introduction here, so kind of an introduction to the idea of token engineering. And I point out that there's been a lot of resources emerging for sort of studying token engineering, especially from a theoretical point of view, and that we should supplement that knowledge base with practical, like practice of the techniques. So I've got here tools, workflows, and methodologies is the purpose of the lab to come together. If anyone's done like a science degree or something like that, you'll recall that any class you take, you know, chemistry or physics or computing, there's usually a lab session that goes along with the class, and that's where everyone gets together, puts on their lab coats or, you know, whatever, gets their tools and equipment ready, and there's usually some teaching assistant or a graduate student will lead all the students through a topic, and sometimes it's like an hour of sort of guidance and then a couple hours of just the students tinkering on their own and trying to get through some practices and challenges. So that's the inspiration for the tech lab, and that's kind of the background to have in mind. But overall, I want it to be a very co-creative space. So I don't think I have like a perfect idea of what the labs should be. I think we're really going to have to get different people together to co-contribute to the labs and bring different ideas and help with the organization and the scheduling. And so the idea is that I'd like to volunteer as a host for the labs. So I'll always be there. And if there's nothing particularly scheduled, then I can put something together. We can be hacking on, you know, CAD models or Param visualizations and things like that. But we can also plan ahead and slot in special guests and things like that. So the labs are very meta. It's like we're using tech tools. You know, where we use tech tools to make TE contributions to tech, such as TEC and CStack. We collaboratively use tech to teach, learn, and test tech for the tech by the tech, but it's not a technocracy. So it's just kind of funny there, some memes, you know, good stuff. And so you can see what we've been doing so far. It's been very experimental. We've had 4 labs and different approaches. The first 2 were very like baseline, getting everyone up to speed, everyone moving at the same pace. And then the second 2 labs, we did something a bit different where I was more driving and sort of hacking and building on the fly and taking in a lot of guidance from Sam and Griff to work towards some structured models and understanding the hatch params much better. And we're going to keep going in that direction for probably at least 2 labs. So it'll be about January. We can keep this flavor of, because we're working towards this goal that Jake had mentioned, and I think Griff touched on as well. We're going to create a repository with a template, a tech hatch template that has a set of parameters and then visualizes the outcome and the results given those parameters. And then we'll go through this exercise where everyone can clone that repo, copy that notebook, and play around with it. And they can, maybe they'll find some better set of parameters that achieve some better results. Or maybe different people will have different opinions on what we should be striving for in terms of the results. So that's kind of the month ahead for January. And you can find the root workspace for the labs is a Notion page. This is the real takeaway that I want people to remember from this. So you can find it from the forum post here. And I'll post a link as well. Actually, I'll make sure this is pinned in the lab channel in Discord. So we have the root GitHub repository, and we actually have 2 of these floating around right now. So I'm going to get that refined. We were making a data sheet for each lab before, but I've collapsed those into a single data sheet. I just called it attendance. And then here's a link to the YouTube playlist on the tech channel on YouTube. And then this is the really nice part. So this is the scheduling. We can see the lab coming up is so far it's called New Hatch Dev Party, and it's got all the key resources in here. So you can go ahead and check out the lab beforehand. And here's a couple visualizations that I was able to make with the data that we're going to be playing with. And so this is like in blue here, you can see all the impact hours so far. And we've got a couple models that Griff put together. And this is actually the impact hours distribution. So this is like the impact hours pie. So you can come check this stuff out. This will be the output of the labs, is sort of constant data output in the form of repositories and YouTube videos and things like that. So there's a lot of value creation happening in addition to the actual education and collaborative workspace. And this Notion is open. Actually, anyone can edit it. I don't think that's going to be a problem. And feel free. I want to encourage people to come in here. And you see there's absolutely nothing for Lab 6. So if you have some ideas or you want to jot down some notes. And then I made a few tables here. So here's a potential lab queue. So anytime you have an idea, if there's a special guest that wants to come and do a lab, they can put their name in here. So Sol Sista has put forward 2 proposals already, and then they're not fixed in the date yet, so they're still pending. We have a contributor list. So if you want to get involved, this is probably the best place to start. Come throw your name in here and just put down your preferred contact. And then I just made a few types, like we got Nico and Tonga interested in being lab assistants. Sam, Griff, and Jake have kind of been driving what we can do. So I called that content guide, Sebnum for features curation, and then I've got host here. And then I made a table for housekeeping, just all the little tasks that we might want to do in order to keep things organized and on point here. And then Notion's really cool. You can just come in here and write some notes. If you want to leave a note that you think is important for the labs. But I want to encourage everyone, open this up, play around with it. There's even, you can look at the historical labs in the past month. And let's see, so back to the proposal. The idea is for 15 to 30,000 DAI funding for 4 to 6 months. And this is going to organizers, teaching assistants, creative minds, and hosts. So really, I think it makes it easy if we have this contributors list and you want to get involved, then come sign up here. And we have to come to some consensus basically based on the budget. And then how that gets allocated in here. And then even if we want to get some really premier guests, you know, we might even want to compensate them with payment. So that's something we could consider. So I think what's to be refined yet is this, the forum discussions. I want people to bring their ideas on sort of scheduling and collaboration, organization for the labs is really important at this time. And then also just come join the labs every Friday, and you'll get a feel for what they are and how they can evolve over time.
Thank you, YGG. And
Thanks,
that's our
everyone.
show. By the way, YGG, wow, that was beautifully organized. And I'm very excited for the labs. Again, tomorrow at what time, YGG?
8 a.m. PST, and is that 5 p.m. Central European, I think? Yes.
It is, as a matter of fact, and 11 a.m. for me. So I'm definitely going, and I encourage you all to go. It will be a fun. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.